Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into a really profoundly unsettling case. It's one that's been in the headlines.
Mhm.
And it reveals just layers of conflicting narratives and, well, really complex human motivations.
hmm
Our mission, like always, is to take these sources, today's news reports about a recent parricide, and really pull out the key insights for you.
And this deep dive, it's particularly compelling, I think, because it really forces us to confront these stark differences, between what someone says happened, their personal testimony, and other accounts.
Right.
We'll be kind of unraveling these distinct viewpoints and inviting you to consider, well, what happens when individual perceptions clash so dramatically?
Yeah, how do you piece together the truth?
Exactly. It can be incredibly challenging.
So, okay, let's dive right in. The story begins with a truly shocking incident.
It really does.
On the evening of July 20th, this was in an apartment in Inchinsondo International City. Police reported that a 62-year-old man, identified as A, allegedly shot and killed his 32-year-old son, Go,
His own son.
with a homemade gun. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
it's an image that immediately brings up immense tragedy.
Oh, absolutely. The very nature of it, parasite, a parent killing their child, it's just devastating.
Yeah, yeah.
It immediately raises these profound questions about, like, the breakdown of the most fundamental human bonds.
Right. Family, protection.
Exactly. It challenges our whole understanding is that you're left wondering, what could possibly lead someone? What internal logic gets you to such an unthinkable act?
And what emerged next, this is where it gets really interesting. From the profiler interviews.
Yes.
The alleged killer, A, he offered a surprising perspective.
Very surprising.
He claimed he was listed as an employee of a family company, described as a famous skincare franchise,
Okay.
where his ex-wife, she's in her 60s, is the CEO.
Right. The ex-wife is the CEO. Got it.
And he said he'd been receiving roughly 3 million South Korean won.
Which is about, what, $2,200 US?
Yeah, around there, per month, as a salary from this company.
Okay.
But then he alleged these payments just stopped last year.
Ah, the cutoff point.
And his stated reason, the reason he gave for pulling the trigger on his own son, a profound sense of betrayal.
Betrayal.
Feeling that, and this is a quote, the only family member turned their back.
Wow.
And get this, during the interview, he reportedly kept saying, "I've lived as a good person."
Yeah, that phrase, "I lived as a good person," that's particularly telling, isn't it?
It jumps out.
It really does. From a profiler's viewpoint, what you often see in these, like, extreme cases is this phenomenon, cognitive distortion.
Okay.
It's basically a psychological mechanism. People twist reality, consciously maybe, to protect their own self-image.
So framing themselves as the victim.
Exactly. Even while confessing to something horrific, saying he's inherently good here, it suggests his internal truth might be, well, profoundly disconnected from the external facts.
Which makes understanding the real motive incredibly difficult.
Fundamentally challenging, yeah.
But then, almost immediately, the victim's family came forward with a completely different story.
A counter-narrative, right.
They strongly disputed the police's initial idea that family discord was the motive. Their account paints a totally different picture.
What did they say?
Through a formal statement, the family basically asserted that even after Akur and Ko, the parents, got divorced,
Right.
they spared no support. for
Support spared. Okay.
They clarified, this was because he was the children's father, despite the divorce.
So maintaining that connection.
And they specifically highlighted the victim, B, the son, as someone who, quote, personally took care of Ag's birthday and contacted him frequently, actively caring for his father.
So direct contradiction to the turn their backs claim.
Absolutely. The family just expressed profound incomprehension. They said they cannot understand why the victim, who was doing his best at home and in society, was murdered.
That's just a powerful statement of bewilderment, isn't it?
It really is.
When you have such a chasm, like, between these perspectives, one person claiming total betrayal, cut off, and the other showing ongoing care, family obligation, it's more than just a simple disagreement.
I feel like two different worlds.
It does, and it really highlights what behavioral scientists often call narrative biases or confirmation bias.
Okay, explain that a bit.
Well, it's where individuals sort of selectively interpret events.
Yeah.
They make things fit their pre-existing beliefs or their grievances.
Right, seeing what you want to see, basically.
Pretty much. In cases like A's, if there's a deeply ingrained perceived sense of entitlement, maybe about money or status, it can actually blind someone to genuine acts of support from others. They create this entirely self-serving version of reality.
And that reality ultimately collided, devastating.
With devastating consequences, yes.
And, if we broaden the scope here, look beyond just the shooting and the conflicting stories.
There's more context.
There is. Other concerning details about A's situation and actually additional charges he's facing.
Oh.
Turns out A had reportedly been unemployed for the last 3 to 4 years.
Okay, long-term unemployment.
Yeah. And despite this, he was living in a 70-pyong apartment. That's pretty big, like 2,300 square feet.
Right.
And it was confirmed that apartment was under his ex-wife, Ku's name.
So financially dependent, living in her property while unemployed.
Seems like it. And then, on top of the shooting charge,
Yes.
he is also accused of attempting an explosion at his other apartment, this one in Seoul, in Dobonggu Sangmundong.
An attempted explosion. Seriously?
Yeah. At that Seoul place, investigators found 15 flammable substances. Things like thinner and PET bottles, detergent containers, milk bottles.
Wow.
Along with ignition devices.
Okay, that adds a whole other dimension. If we connect that to the bigger picture, these details, the long unemployment, the dependency, and especially finding homemade explosives.
Yeah, the explosives are alarming.
Extremely. It might imply a growing desperation, maybe a deteriorating state of mind that went way beyond just his perceived money issues.
Right, not just about the salary cutoff.
Exactly. Profilers, for instance, they often look for patterns, things like escalating paranoia or maybe a history of collecting grievances over time.
Holding on to perceived slights.
Precisely. And the discovery of the explosives, that suggests a significant level of planning, maybe, or at least intent to cause harm. It could point to a broader sort of offender pathway, the steps leading up to these tragic events.
Could there be other reasons for the explosives, though?
That's a really crucial question, and something investigators would definitely be looking into. Was it related to the family conflict? Was it something else entirely? Was it planned for a specific target? It adds layers of complexity to understanding his state of mind.
Definitely. So, okay, to try and piece all this together, to figure out the true motive, law enforcement took some significant steps.
The profiling effort.
Exactly. 3 profilers dispatched from Incheon, Seoul, and Gyeonggi-nambu police agencies they interviewed back on July 22nd. And their analysis, their results, have been sent to the Yeonsu Police Station Criminal Division.
Oh, right. And this raises that important question. How exactly do profilers piece together a motive in these really complex cases, especially when the initial stories conflict so dramatically, like here?
Yeah, what do they actually do?
Well, they use a whole range of behavioral analysis techniques. They look for patterns in the person's history, like we mentioned, maybe escalating paranoia, grievance collecting, perhaps a shift towards isolation.
Building a picture over time.
Exactly. Building a dynamic psychological profile. It's about triangulating all of the data points, the interviews, crime scene evidence, external accounts like the family's statement.
Connecting the dots.
Trying to map out that offender pathway to the crime, and crucially, trying to reconcile all this conflicting information into some kind of coherent narrative for the ongoing investigation. It's painstaking work.
It sounds incredibly complex. So, what does this all mean for us trying to understand this?
Yeah.
This case, like so many extreme acts, it just really underscores the profound difficulty, the complexity of understanding human behavior, especially when you're faced with such conflicting stories.
Absolutely.
It's just a stark reminder, isn't it, that what one person perceives as the ultimate betrayal,
Yeah.
another person sees as continued support. And both of those narratives can feel absolutely 100% real to the individuals experiencing them.
It truly does underscore that. And maybe the most unsettling realization from all this is just how profoundly personal narratives can become detached from reality.
Yeah.
Especially when they concern these deeply felt grievances or maybe perceived entitlements, like maybe the financial support here.
Right.
How far they can drift from any kind of external objective truth. The immense tragedy here, as we've seen laid bare, is the very real human cost when those distorted perceptions go unchecked.
When they fester.
Exactly. When they fester and are allowed to explode into such destructive acts. So this deep dive, it really invites you, the listener, to consider the many lenses we use to try and understand these deep human conflicts, and maybe the vital importance of seeking out all the available perspectives, hearing all the voices, even especially when they clash so profoundly.